You know, never normally one to ever admit I'm wrong. It's probably because I always feel I never am. My problem is I've trained my attitude up so much that I even believe that when I'm wrong, I'm right. Now you might believe that to be a tad pretentious and nasty, but it did actually help me gain some coping skills through some difficult times at school. But sometimes you need to drop that guard, allow people to come in, and accept that you're never always right. So it was with a little bit of haste that one of my subs managed to break through the crust and get my attention with a couple of messages that he sent me. And on 2 separate occasions, on 2 separate videos, he told me I should do a review of the file. Now that appealed to me about as much as standing in front of a queue of rugby players who were all waiting their turn to give me a kick in the Jacobs. Only for the simple reason that I did grind out the SMR right to the very end, and I think I'm actually still gaining therapy for that now. But I was flicking through my messages and I noticed this one over again and I thought, okay, we'll give it a bash. I'll humour you and I'll see where we end up. And can I just say, good gravy, this gun is something else. Where oh where has this been all my life? Well, for the last 3 months or so anyway. So try it out I did. And can I just say, this gun at its worst, and by its worst I mean with no attachments or nothing on it, is probably better than any gun at its best. It's high powered, it's technically easy to use, the iron sights are sweet as a nut, and this realisation was quenching my thirst to move on to something a bit juicier. So, moving on to Act 2, Scene 2, red dot sight and quick draw handle. Now we've got the speed to go with the agility, now we've got the red dot sight for that accuracy, not that you really need it, but I always like to have a sight on it, just makes it a bit more fun. But like some chemically enhanced psychotropic trip, I just wanted to delve further into the rabbit hole, discover further highs in the form of attachments and see exactly where this gun could take me. Because as far as I'm concerned, the sky's the limit, and there was one attachment in particular I had my mind focused on, and that was the select fire. But before we get to the big show, it's the dress rehearsal. So then it was time to move on to the next attachment. Now this was an attachment that I nearly overlooked. I wasn't going to bother with it because I thought, hey, you know, this is a gun that requires a steady hand. The last thing I really want to do is sway around all over the place, skating, not hitting the intended target. Or so I would have had myself believe, because the big head told the little head to shut its cake hole and attach the stock. My goodness, now you lot can go and shit your pants, cause Apocalypse is coming and he's about as angry as a bad day in Bosnia. Iron sight removed, quick draw handle kept, and we've put the stock attachment on, and now we've got speed, agility and manoeuvrability. This show is going to be one production of cataclysmic proportions. But I mean, just look, I can move out the way of enemy fire quite comfortably. I'm not spending complete rounds wastefully, it's 1 to 2 to 3 shots. I don't know, it doesn't matter, I don't care. This attachment for this gun makes something good excellent, like putting sugar on your cereal. And unfortunately my much beloved PDW is going to have to take a bit of a rest for a while, because I found a new toy to play with. I don't know I'm technically cheating on it, but come on, what it doesn't know won't hurt it. I'll just tell it I'm working late at the office. And with the anticipation now of the select attachment being a distant memory, I just honestly believe that this gun doesn't need it. The rate of fire is so quick I can only imagine how good it would be when you're using a scuff controller or something. So yes, I'll be using this one a hell of a lot more, and I'd recommend you do too. Just have a change from the norm, switch up from the submachine guns and try some of these assault rifles, but in particular this one. Favoured attachments, quick draw handle and stock. All I can say is, this gun with this setup is so powerful and dominant, if it was to spend a stint of time in prison, before long it would make all the other guns its bitches. So that brings us to the end of the production, the final scene. Select fire accomplished. And with a stroke of luck, look at this. Turbine. What better map to put something like this to the test? This wide open plan map is so poor that even the snipers hate it. Which is ironic really, because this should be a quickscoper's wet dream. The only very unfortunate thing is if you don't equip a sniper rifle yourself, you're going to find that one hit kill a bugbear to deal with. Normally I tend to run around with a submachine gun, that takes care of the problems up close and personal, and tends to stop any quickscope related accidents happening. But this time it's different. This time we got game. The last single burst assault rifle I used on this was the SMR, and I did have that fully automatic, And I remember once upon a time there was a guy on top of the plane. I could sense the delay in the shot between him and me was him lining me up in his scope. And as you know these snipers are going to take their shot, you get that one momentary lapse of reason, where you bumble and fumble with your controllers you're trying to get them in your sights. Devastated knowing that the next couple of milliseconds mean absolutely everything, because you know that one shot is going to take your head clean off. Whatever gun you've got, you get the shots on target. Boom! You're dead. Tough titty. It's a hard knock life and you've got to deal with it. So I ask you, good lord up above, can you give me something? Some gun with some attachment that makes it so mustard I can now regain a sense of confidence and debonair when playing this horrible map, knowing full well that I perfectly invite these dickwads to stand on top of the plane. And guess what?
Topping off, stand by. Threat neutralized.
Kill confirmed. Sentry gun ready to deploy.
You just shit out of luck. Anyway, that's me just about done, guys. I hope you have a bit of fun with this setup. I do recommend you give it a try. I'll see you later, guys. Apocalypse done.